I don't. Hello. So through this video, we are going to discuss about the kind of entrepreneurial opportunities that India is offering at this point of time in various fields, and also what skill sets that you need to require to get into the same, and uh, all connected aspects of the same. So first thing is this age limit and age barrier is gone. There's nothing like you have to be of a particular age to get into entrepreneurship or any business activity. So that is long gone, and in India also, we have seen people pushing boundaries, and we have lot of examples of youngsters who are coming up in a lot of different fields. In a lot of different fields. I could tell you some examples, but it would do injustice to all who have achieved at an young age. But I could pick up few instances. One is Mr. Kishan Shrikant, who's recognized by Forbes as the youngest entrepreneur, Forbes 30 under 30 in the Indian region, I think. Another is Rahul Yadav of housing.com. So, housing.com basically was conceived to sort of create a platform. It is a platform to connect potential buyers, sellers, and those who are looking out for rented homes and other things. So, that is he's a young achiever, if you may say so. And another person that comes to my mind is Ritesh Agarwal of Ohio Rooms, who is Ohio Rooms is similar to Airbnb in the West. So he was a dropout, and Rahul Yadav is a dropout. Kishan followed a very unconventional path in education. So all three, the common traits amongst all three is that they had the passion to do something different, and they were not pushed. Probably the parents were supportive, of course, but they were not pushed or sort of what to say. It comes in them, right? So you can't really force anyone to do something exceptional. You can force someone to do something ordinary, but you definitely can't force someone to do something extraordinary. So that we are, through these videos, focusing on the extraordinary category, not the ones who intend to do ordinary things. But my whole concept of doing extraordinary is that people have to remember your contributions to this world even when you leave the world. If you do ordinary things, no one will remember you. Oh, fine, oh, that person was there. In your family circles or probably your friends, but the country has to remember you and the world has to remember it, maybe in any field, maybe sports or politics or uh, entrepreneurship or journalism or anything for that matter. So we have to focus as a country, we have to raise our aspirations, and we have to focus on that. And the thing is that, you see, historically, when you say entrepreneurship, now, firstly, who is an entrepreneur? Anyone who mints his own money, anyone who is sort of creating an enterprise, who's creating value for himself and others, is an entrepreneur. It can be a businessman. So, an entrepreneur is actually the superset. You have subsets like businessmen, and you have something a politician. You have a sports person can be an entrepreneur. He's giving value to an entity which he's endorsing, right? And scientists can be an entrepreneur. You have something called as academic entrepreneurs. So anyone can be an entrepreneur, and it is honestly determined by your willingness to succeed, while willingness to be your own boss. rather than being ruled by someone, right? Mm. That's very important, right? So the we are discussing about the opportunities this country is having. The first thing is India is, as you know, one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Uh, till recently, I mean, there's a slowdown beyond due to reasons beyond our control. But uh, but till recently, we were, or probably we still are, the fastest growing major economy in the world. And India is honestly offering a lot of opportunities for people in a lot of fields. So first thing is, I think two fields which I'm particularly passionate about, which I see a lot of explosion, a lot of investment, a lot of funding, a lot of activities in the coming decades is one is biotech and another is space exploration, come colonization, come adventure, come travel, or whatever you may call it. So these two fields, right? Now, what is happening is much of the talent, much of the resources, much of the activity is again as in the West. And the thing is that when we have to democratize these sort of activities, I think as collectively, we must try to frame policies such that these kind of activities are also brought in. Why are we not having a private entity like Tesla, I mean, a SpaceX or something like that? So, I mean, yes, Peter Thiel, the Silicon Valley entrepreneur, has said that these kind of activities, these kind of what you call as uh, he said, like, it's not like before where you need to be at the Silicon Valley to create companies. You can do it anywhere with the kind of resources and infrastructure available today. There's nothing required for you to build an internet company from scratch, right? You need not have to be there. So my whole point is we need to sort of democratize this. I think so. India is offering a lot of opportunities in biotech, in life sciences per se, because a lot of companies are coming up. And you see Strand Life Sciences or probably Map My Genome, they're in genomics and personalized medicine, as we call it, like where they have sort of map your genome. There's something called as a human genome project where gives you an entire uh, gives you a list of what your body conditions, they're still in the process, scientists are still in the process, like you're trying to make sense of what information you've got from mapping the genome. So genome and bioinformatics and other tools, like you're using machine learning and other artificial intelligence technologies in trying to make sense out of this. So biotechnology is actually making integration of biology and technology. So it's like a very niche field. It's not particularly old. It's a very new field, relatively newer field, but still exploring. There's something called synthetic biology. So see, these are all things that may not make sense today, but further down the line, we never know which of these companies were going to become unicorns or the next big companies. So, yeah, 3D bioprinting. No, you have so many fields within this field, right? So you have anti-aging. So you like people in the West are trying to see if you can arrest aging. Aging as the sense like sort of reducing the length of the telomeres. That's one way. So there is There is there are things. So I never seen many of these startups in India. See, that's the problem. Like I've seen only all these. First thing is most of here the things that we have here are just got copy paste. We are nothing. We are not come up with anything genuine. Secondly, I may be wrong. I mean, I can always get corrected. Secondly, I think very important is that we have startups in these areas, right? Uh, and new emerging areas if we have to stay ahead of the curve. So you had, I was just reading a news today about China, which is notorious for minting billionaires at an exemplary rate, has sort of created 38 new billionaires in the semiconductor industry. And so it's like, what the hell is going on? So it's like China was like the Chinese real estate boom is described as like the biggest wealth explosion in the modern human race because it's created so freaking many billionaires. And now you have the semiconductor industry, which is powering the IoT space, which is smart manufacturing, as we call it. And so them. So I see no reason in India not able to take lead in this field. I mean, I mean, even in biotechnology for that matter, like whatever I mentioned, there are. So it's not that people have cracked aging or something. People in the West are trying to do something. At least that sounds exciting because that's really going to have a direct impact on us. Whatever little comes out of it. So, I mean, yeah, we have to keep trying. The second thing is real estate. There are some associated legal problems, but then why are we not having I mean, real estate billionaires? You see, every landlord is a potential real estate millionaire or billionaire in this country. We have very strange rules, very sophisticated rules that you cannot buy what you call the agricultural lands unless you belong to a family that has farming traditions or whatever the hell that means. So yeah, so that is actually preventing wealth creation because you're not getting value. Agri lands as such don't have that much value. So I don't know. So that is probably one of the reasons. But I started working out. So that is probably one of the reasons. Second thing is, mm, so as usual, the usual suspects of cloud computing, AI, ML, blockchain, blah blah blah, startups for various applications. I was having three startups in my mind, particularly exciting. One is called the Cerebras systems, like they have developed hardware for powering next generation AI systems. Another is uh, this what you call Rigetti computing, which is trying to bring in quantum computing. It's trying to commercialize the so-called abstract ideas in quantum computing. And the third is what is that called? A third is by Alexander Bank, like who's Scale AI. Like he's trying to he like a 22-year-old guy who's like whose startup has reached unicorn status. He's trying to sort of get these contract workers, to identify images and then use them. He's trying to become the AWS of ML. That's what media is describing him like. So it's like, let me read it out for you guys. So, so what a Scale AI is doing is it is it's called as the data platform for AI, vision, NLP, and other things. It's about labeling, yes, but so what they say is uh, label data is the key bottleneck. Label data is even more essential than algorithms. Image. So what is happening is data labeling is not only, it is also philosophically important. Well, doesn't the developer writes a program which itself writes the program. So it's a rough what a program should look like, what the goal should be. So the thing is about understanding these things and getting things done. So yeah, so everyone is trying. That's the basic point. No one is just sitting simply. So I think Indians should jump the bandwagon, should try to not copy the West, but try to create products, try to create billionaires, try to create multi-millionaires, and just do it off, man. There's nothing that's going to prevent this country.